Hello, Joey. Hello, Tim. Chuck.
There's nothing on my I'm just like, yeah, leave it. That's surprising.
And I said, David, anytime I call, they don't, anytime I want a copy, they send them for cost of copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, one time I sent them before I paid for them. And,
All week.
yeah, when you look at them, it depends on the corner. Yeah, they can come. And I mean, there's a lot of detail. I made a mistake of miscreating that. Yeah, they're detailed. Let's just put it that way, yeah. Well, I've seen mine, but it wasn't there anything there that I didn't, so. Yeah, right, yeah, I mean. No, yeah, some of them are pretty detailed, some of them say, you know. It's just hard. Specifically. Now that's required.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you.
What are you guys all doing today? Good to know. Seats all pumped up.
Oh, yeah. We've never had anybody report, you know, we've always been.
Carolyn's here, it's her wedding anniversary today. She's on Facebook.
Great, our picture was important.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He said he heard about it. Well, he was worried he's talking, but then he sounded pretty.
You did it.
I have a question. Possible mention of use of said property, also that this had to do with the fires and possibly leasing of some parking space, a parking area
They'd like to bring in a mobile
food truck.
food truck and set it either out there or you can by the street. Or the city, or you're talking about 2 blocks.
Okay. Okay, makes sense.
And Bill said we even.
Do need ordinance.
We need an ordinance.
Correct. So I was just gonna ask, do you anticipate there being an actual action on this tonight or just a discussion?
I would like to let them know that they're here, it's supposed to be here.
Okay.
To let them know that yes, the
Whenever I-
favor of-
whenever I see him, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, that works.
So they can make that.
Okay, that works. Yeah.
Which is long.
Yeah. We'll endeavor to make sure the ordinance at the next meeting reflects everything as if it's.
There's about 100 people out there that track it.
And then.
So they're one of those actual, they're the like midnight work on. They'll come back after 9.
Like they were just, like they just wrote them up yesterday. They were playing around and. Nothing, I just.
And they're been like great.
Uh,
Right now, we're swinging big green against that. Capital solution.
Oh,
And you get a couple of guys that just have. Those guys line up.
Something from the original one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good. It's been a long 3.5 months. So that's
When
pretty
I'm
good.
when I'm in, when I go to
I was just curious, because that's the first time I heard about it.
these, and absolutely nothing. It was new. Yeah. I know. I said, I was here, that looked like the bird bureau was, inside. Yeah, and then here these. Wide, wide open. Right.
I mean, it's some.
That hallway, the faster.
Yeah, still.
Still good. It's not funny, but no, it's just amazing. It doesn't make any.
Yeah.
I know. I know where everyone was.
Yeah.
They've done it previously.
You got overpaid, but they want your still free. Yeah.
You know how to operate the Nate?
Well, yeah, right.
Ken?
To the rescue.
I've got it turned on. I thought there would be a display on the screen. It was working.
Battery's dead?
Well, I don't know. Well, I kept it last week. Turned mine on.
I'll tell you, the batteries are dead. Can't. Can you just use your phone recorder?
Take two double A's.
2 double A's, triple A's.
Triple A. I got the all connected myself.
That thing's gonna make a record of what we're
I
doing.
know.
Something's leaked in there at some point.
Here.
They went to, thank you.
That would be my guess. You got a couple, Andy? Steal them out of the TV remote?
I have a whole vacuum.
Well, that didn't do it either, Kent.
Okay. We've got it. We'll have to use it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for thanks for looking up.
There's a battery, but in there leak.
You get a display? Yeah. Must be on. Good. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. Thank you for waiting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Randy. Thank you all very much. I'd like to begin with roll call, please, Nancy.
Rask,
Here.
Stufflebean,
Here.
Bobs,
Here.
Fleming,
Here.
Rose.
Here.
Black.
Here.
Thank you.
And you've all had a chance to look at your minutes from the last meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes as presented when someone is prepared to do so.
So.
By Chuck, seconded by?
Rose.
By Dave Rose. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say Roland is not here tonight because his wife is having surgery today. So we wish her the best. And we wish Roland the best also, coming up on the Christmas season. The first item of business is correspondence, and I do have a couple. I have a thank you note from the city employees. It says, just wanted to let you know how much you're appreciated. It's addressed to Mayor Kowal and the city council. From the city employees and family, I want to thank you for the holiday bonus. We wish to you and your family a very wonderful holiday season. The card is signed by Scott Cock, Cody Kane, Jack Stuckel, Clayton Burham, John Frank, Dave Ehlers, Teresa Lidwell, Brenda Belania, Chris Darsham, Carl Powell, Andy Steck, Cody Rice, Brian Green, Tim Herrick, Dorian Utzinger, and Roland Ryan. So thank you from all the employees for the Christmas bonus. I also have a letter today from Zach Chatterton, and I'd like to read that to everybody. Dear City Council members of Farmington, this letter is to express my appreciation to the City of Farmington and Chief Darsham and the Police Department. Schools across the country were notified of a social media campaign to bring threat of violence to schools on Friday, December 17th, 2021. We did not learn of this news until the day before. Once we shared the concerns with families, Chief Darsham immediately mobilized his resources to ensure the district would be adequately covered that next morning. We had 2 officers and himself from the start of the school day until dismissal. This was a relief to our staff, students, parents, and community. Chief Darsham took the initiative to formulate the plan and communicate it out. Our school day was able to continue with no disruptions, and everyone being at ease knowing that Farmington Police Department were all in 3 buildings. I know that this commitment detracted from other obligations with the city, and I want to take this opportunity to publicly say thank you. We hope to not have to call upon the Farmington Police Department to that extent again, but it is a relief knowing that they are there for us when you need them. Sincerely, Zach Chatterton, Superintendent, School District 265. Well, thank you very much, Chief. I appreciate that. We'll pass that on to you. Instead of reading another letter that I have, I'll call upon Patrick O'Brien, if that's all right, Patrick,
Sure.
or I could read it.
Thank you, Mayor Kowal and City Council. I wanted to provide an update from our building fire that happened on November 22nd. I won't go through it as comprehensively as I did with Mayor Kowal, but I have asked him to pass that on to you guys so that you have an idea of where we've been and somewhat of an idea of where we're heading. As you know, November 22nd, we got the call, 9 o'clock, smoke showing at Whiskey Dixie's. Not much more to say after that. We had a great response from Farmington Police, Farmington Fire, and about 21 other agencies gave their best to save our building. But as you can see, it's a total loss. It's very hard for our family. It's hard for our children to look at that. So we wanted to get on the ball and start to get some closure and get that area cleaned up. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that as quickly as we would like. Like I said in that email that I will have Mayor Kowal forward to you guys, is kind of the saga that we went through. In a nutshell, every insurance company wanted a piece of it. You know, if you had gaming machines in it, you wanted an investigation. Myself and my insurance company we obliged every request, but there was they just dragged their feet. They wouldn't sign releases. They wouldn't follow a timeline. So now we finally got the building back on December 17th. So it's been a month tonight since that happened. So the cleanup will begin this week, even though it is Christmas week. We have a couple 3 bids in, and we're going to get that thing cleaned up as soon as we can. I just can't say enough on how thankful my family is for what Dave and his guys have done for us. I mean, those cones were out there the following day. Hell, we were up there following up at 9 a.m. the next day, and the guys had to go pull the siren because the fire had started again. I got so many text messages and phone calls, and I talked to people I didn't even remember talking to. I got Facebook messages from people in this room, and all that stuff is so heartwarming and so motivating to get us to get that stuff cleaned up and figure out what we're doing next. To be honest, I can't see past what's there now. Normally, I'm the type of guy that has some vision, but I cannot see past that 7,500 square foot of rubble right now. So I have no idea what the next steps are besides to get that cleaned up. Do we want to continue doing business in this town? Absolutely. I mean, it's been great to us. We were embarking on our 10th year. This would have been our 10th year in business. 2022, we started in 2012 at Kirsch Cafe, and we just now we're in a little bit of a pause right now. But I just wanted to give an update, answer any questions. I don't know if there's been rumors out there. I try to stay away from the rumor mill. But if there's anything that anybody needs clarified or has any questions, I'm here for that. And I just wanted to publicly thank you guys for not being on my ass for the pile of bricks on the sidewalk because I was hard enough on myself. I did get that cleaned up prior to having the building released to me. It just seemed like that the people that had interest that were wanting to get in there weren't moving fast enough. I clarified. I said, I'm not going to touch anything inside that building, but I got to clean that sidewalk up. It's a brand new sidewalk. I said, we got to get these bricks off these sidewalk before it gets cold and starts cracking. So we got that done last week. Now we're just waiting on total demolition, so. If anybody has any questions, I'll take them. Anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, Pat, but I wanted to thank you for getting the bricks off the sidewalk and let you know that the crew that came out, I don't know who I've got their names, but they did a fantastic job. They were extremely careful.
Yeah,
Very-
yeah.
Very concerned.
We
We appreciate you kind of pushing. I know you had to push to get that done on the outside, but it looks a lot better with that. taken care of. Thank you.
Well, I was waiting for one of these guys to stop by my house because I didn't have full permission. So I was waiting, looking out the window, making sure nobody came, but, yeah, that they used a rubber,
Rubber track.
track on that,
Little
so.
bingo, yeah, lightweight, yeah. They were careful.
So, yeah, that was hanging over our heads too, it's just such a beautiful downtown, and here we are with piles of bricks. So we wanted to get those off as soon as we could, and, I just, we all remember, the high school fire, and we remember the Sam Lily's fire. I remember, we got to work that day, and, we were a block down, and we said, you know what, we aren't gonna open, and we made like 10 gallons of biscuits and gravy and was just running it up to firemen. And remember how bad of a day that was. And then to be sitting there and seeing it again, it was completely surreal. Like, I cannot believe, that was my building. That was going up. Any questions, I'd be happy to answer if you want to shoot me a text after the meeting. But, thank you to Dave and the guys again, and the police force and the fire departments, and, I love Farmington, Illinois, so I'm gonna do my damnedest to get that thing built back up, and, hopefully start serving breakfast again, so. And thanks for all that you guys have done as well.
Sorry for your loss, and
Thanks.
your commitment to want to rebuild here.
We would like to, I mean, that's something we would like to do, but we don't know what that looks like. Can't see past that.
Well, you, speaking on behalf of the council, you've been very good to Farmington, your business has, you have personally, in many, many different ways, and I know that we all feel for your loss, and certainly hope that you make the best of the situation, and your hopes are realized someplace, somewhere, and you come back stronger than ever.
Okay.
But thank you very much for coming tonight, appreciate that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that said, we'll go right to general comments if there are other general comments from the audience at this time. Seeing none now, we'll get an opportunity later. We'll move to the Public Works report. Dave, if you'd like to explain anything, go right ahead.
Sure, thank you. Does anybody have any questions on the Public Works report? Start right there. Okay, we are ready for snow, if it ever comes, hopefully not. But we're ready for it. We do have a busy winter schedule. We've got lots of equipment to work on, lots of little projects that we're going, so nothing that's ginormous at this time. We will be looking to spec out a new backhoe. I'll give you a little heads up on that. I don't have any prices or anything like that, but the one that we've got, got 6,000 hours on it. It's got a leaking hydraulic tank and a leaking fuel tank. So it's been a very good backhoe for us, but it's pretty low right now. That's my next thing that I'll be looking at. We've got pretty good money income from the emulsion oil that we sold this past year. That'll help for a good down payment with the trading of backhoe, so that should help things. And that's kind of what the mayor and I had talked about here, Mark, that money for. That's all I've got.
Motion to
Thank you,
approve the
Dave.
Public Works report.
Motion by Joey to approve the Public Works report. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nate. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. The TIF report is included. As you can see, we had some payouts during the month for redevelopment grants, some residential as well as commercial. Be happy to answer questions about any of those if you have them. And if not, we have an ending TIF balance of 760, 463, 66. Seeing that there are no questions, I'll move on to old business. And the only item under old business that I have is the corridor report. And in front of you, you have the draft of the proposed letter to be sent out for bids for our corridor project. And I'll turn the meeting over to Dave Rose if I could, and I can. So Dave, go ahead, please.
In that fact, in the last couple of weeks, the situation of our city has changed dramatically, as you all know. As we looked at the corridor plan, it was more about streets and sidewalks, and we have an absolute need to continue to look at the economic development of lots of businesses, things like that. So there was some wording changed. There was a lot of additions that mentions specific. There's a goal of the project to enhance the community economic development opportunities along the corridor. So there were things added to our original corridor plan that focuses more on the business rather than just the streets and sidewalks. And that was actually redrafted last week by Kathy, and this is the one that she plans to send out for bids. It is somewhat explanatory throughout, and as she sends them out, she has a list of 10, 12, 14 places to send them that have history. They answer the questionnaires and all the above. We hope to get some bids back, and she's hoping by the February meeting, the first meeting in February, we might be able to actually present something to the council with some estimates. Right now, it's kind of unknown until we get some bids back. That's kind of all I have on it. Can't remember anymore.
The only thing I would add on your draft letter, the east-west streets are not included because Kathy was not sure of the name of them, but it covers from West Fort Street to Lightfoot Road. So it's Fort Street from West Fort, it's Fort Street from
Northwest Street.
From Northwest, thank you, from Northwest Street to Lightfoot Road. Yeah, so down by the post office. Any other comments from the council? Okay, I'll tell her to let that draft go, and we'll see what kind of bids we get. One of the bids, and the list is not included, but one of the 11 or 12 bid recipients was intended to be Mauer Stutz, just to let you know. So most of the other names I did not know even. So we'll see. I have no other old business. Does any council member have old business that we need to take care of? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll move on to new business. The first item being a discussion possible action on the use of city property. And I had anticipated that the owners of Asher's would be here tonight because they indicated they would be. And this request comes from them, and I will explain to you what little I know about it. And that is that in order to obtain some income in the coming months, the Ashers would like to make arrangements with a food truck owner that they know who does not use his food truck until April, till the weather gets good. And they would like to take that food truck on some type of loan from him that doesn't concern us and put the food truck on. It was suggested by them that they put it to the north end of our lot here, where last year we had a food truck for a day or two that helped raise funds for our canine. So they suggested that area right out by the street. The other alternative would be that Rollins suggested to them was the city parking lot between Bub's and Casey's and have it placed there. But for further details about the truck, they would not need any sewer or water. They would not need any hookups. They would run their food truck by propane and with a generator. So they wouldn't be utilizing any city services. So I guess probably the way to proceed is if this is still their, would be their wishes, would the council have any objection? Knowing that in order to finalize it, we'd have to draft an ordinance and approve an ordinance at the next meeting.
Will they have to provide some sort of
They
insurance?
they would have to have insurance for the city, no matter where they go, yes.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
And bonding.
Since it is a food truck, it'll be removed from the property every night and brought back.
I don't know that day.
My concern would be snow plowing.
Snow removal.
Whichever lot there. I'm not against it,
Yeah.
don't take it that way. I just want to get clarified what we have to work around.
That's a good point, yeah. Any other concerns from council members? Does anyone object to this strenuously?
No,
Okay.
just needs to be flushed out.
Okay. Well, if they still want to pursue it, then hopefully we'll have some information at the next council meeting, but I'll let them know the preliminary results were positive with the council. Okay?
If it might help speed up the process, one thing we can do by statute is authorize some municipal officer to enter into lease agreements for city property for periods of less than 2 years. So perhaps if the council wanted to vote to authorize somebody with the city to enter into that lease agreement on certain terms, that's certainly something we can do tonight. Just a thought.
Would someone like to authorize the mayor or the city administrator to enter into a lease agreement?
Make a motion to allow you or Ryan to enter into a lease agreement.
Motion by Nate, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, David. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Any other questions on that to come to anybody? If so,
So they'll be coming in January to discuss more details?
I would assume so, Dave, if they want to pursue it.
Yeah, I don't think we can really go too much farther than that.
No.
I mean, I'm certainly not opposed to food truck, but I'd like to see some
Yeah, like to know their menu.
how they do it, how they're going about it. How they, are they moving it every night? Because they're gonna have water, they're gonna have all this. You almost have to take it out every night. They're not gonna have facilities there. It's gonna have to be taken somewhere.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yes.
On their homepage, they have made a post just yesterday. And on this post, it said, "We've been waiting patiently to announce this. Coming soon, Asher's will be offering carry-out food via food truck we are bringing to town. We will post soon with the dates and times and locations where we will be." So obviously, they put their cart in front of their horse because they're telling the public this pretty much is a done deal without any representation from the city.
Well, how do you think we should respond to that? Do you think you could post back or should I respond to
Well,
them?
what I'm saying is,
I'll call them.
if they've said this, they've obviously talked to someone to say they're coming.
Well, Rollin, was the only one that I know of, and he may have given them an answer that,
So how can Roland give an answer
no,
when
well,
Roland, these are the ones that vote on it? Isn't Roland making a vote? It's
No,
the council.
no, but what I was going to say, Carolyn, is that sometimes the answer from Rollin can be misconstrued. So that needs to be clarified.
Can I ask
Okay,
you a question?
Yeah.
Do they have to have our permission to have a food truck? They would just have to have our permission to park it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Park it on city property. If they're gonna park it somewhere else, they don't really need it.
I guess if they wanted to have it at their home,
Or someone else's place. if they want
Couldn't they technically park it on the street since, I mean, it's street park? I mean, yeah.
well, we'll have some answers hopefully the next time, and hopefully they'll be here.
Maybe we need to look at an ordinance for food trucks. The city of Canton.
We don't, yeah,
I've
we don't.
drafted a food truck registration ordinance before where there's a pretty stringent application process, provide proof of insurance, proof of facilities to use for hand washing and bathroom use by employees. That certainly could be something worth looking into.
And that would be something the health department would look at as well.
Sure.
Health department's gonna wanna know their hand wash facility, they're gonna want.
Oh, the county's health
restaurants
department?
got this. They're gonna want all those things.
They probably would, yeah, I would imagine.
If they do an inspection.
And
I have to show that for the church. When we have fundraising.
And I wanna make it clear, it's not that I'm against this, but what I'm saying is, things obviously were said,
Well, they can announce that they're having a truck, they can't announce they're parking on city property. You can have a truck.
that's true.
It would be.
But
We
then,
don't have an
but then
ordinance.
when we come in and
We don't
read
have an
things
ordinance
like
against it.
this,
But you're mixing two things together that aren't the same. Is my point.
hand in hand there, Dave.
We'll get to the bottom of it. Thank you very much. Anything else to come before the council besides committee reports?
Declaration of emergency.
Got that? Didn't know if there was anything else. I'll do the declaration of local state of emergency right now. Pursuant to the authority vested in the office of mayor by the Illinois Municipal Code, section 511-1-6, the Illinois Emergency Management Agency Act, section 330511, and ordinance 2020-06 of the city of Farmington. I, Kent Cowell, mayor of the city of Farmington, do hereby declare that a local state of emergency exists as of this date, April 22, 2020, and shall continue until such time as provided in ordinance 2020-06, and that the nature of the emergency is a nationwide pandemic of the COVID-19 virus. And I would entertain committee reports if I could, please, from Dave Black on finance and ordinance first.
I've been in communication with the office and we've been going, I'm just saying thank you for the increased communication over things financial. We haven't really had anything that we've had to have a meeting over, but the mayor and Ron have been very, very open about things financial. We're going through and learning as we go, so I appreciate it.
Good. Hope for that to continue. Yeah. Joy Boggs, public safety.
Nothing to report, sir.
Ken Stufflebeam on sewer,
Nothing, sir.
and Nathan Fleming on streets and
Nothing to
sidewalk.
report, sir.
Dave Rose on parks, recreation,
Nothing to report, sir.
and Chuck on public grounds and buildings.
Nothing, sir.
This is another opportunity for comments from the audience. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the council with a question, concern? Seeing none.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Joy Boggs to adjourn. Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Thank you.
Don't vote.
I was hoping for that.
Well, we'll never know. I'm sure they'll bring it up.
Family has nice
By talking to more than yeah. Is there really enough? Keep walking dog. She just walked the dog. It's just sitting there looking at property. The dog never entered her property. And she's staying away from her. But then she's staying on her property. Like her dog never went over there. So there's nothing. You guys didn't really talk much about
Nothing yet. I'll find out. The lady who's lost the dog.
Merry Christmas, Ken.
Good friends.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Enjoy your day tomorrow.